And we're back. I have to say, what a hiatus. We had lunch, dinner, and breakfast. I'm here hanging out with Hynaken. And whereas I would say it's a lot of fun, it really isn't. When you have somebody who's stalking the ESPN scores, and I find out that LeBron has since done it again, and the Heat have succumbed to, you know, the inevitable. I mean, we knew the Lakers were going to win, and I'm okay with that. I'm going to have to be. My Yanks have since also lost, and it's been a tough weekend for me. And I'm hanging out with none other than the Legion, who I know can commiserate with what's going on.
Yes.
Being from the Bronx, how much of a devastating weekend has this been for you with the Yanks?
It's been tough. Long time, lifetime Yankee fan, so we just took an L. And I take this season as an asterisk, even though they got knocked off, you know, Judge and the whole team, they get a pass. So
I agree, the momentum was knocked out. What do you think about that?
I don't really follow baseball.
I appreciate the
he's
honesty.
Yankee by default, B.
Yeah, I grew up by Yankee Stadium, man. I used to go to the train and on the top of my building on Ogden and Woody Crest and watch it from the roof. So you know, I like sports. You know what I'm saying? I'm jaded by everything that's going on today, man. So.
Well, we'll speak to that quickly. I finally got a text message. It is what it is. I'm jaded, right? Speaking to what's going on today. I don't care what sports are being played. I was very happy to see anything. Action.
Yeah.
I was watching golf and ping pong, and so, just anything. So with that said, I can appreciate jaded. Especially, no one should be more jaded than the college student who didn't get to do their thing.
Yeah, my son, for instance, he ain't got to do it from home, and it bothered him. And he really wanted to go and experience going to school, and it's messed up. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, but I believe in these moments, a lot of great things are created. You know, so.
Change is important, and as far as you're concerned, we don't have to speak specifically to sports. I like to speak to sports.
Yeah, I know sports.
But looking at the last 3 months, something that you missed that you're now being able to kind of get reintroduced to.
What I miss, man? I think, you know, I'm a foodie dude. I'm a big dude. I miss kind of going in a nice restaurant, sitting down, nice and quiet somewhere in the corner, grabbing a bite, instead of sitting on somebody's sidewalk and all that, you know. Right now, you go get a plate, you gotta go get some food, you want a quick takeout, or they got you sitting on the sidewalk. People coming out the train station walking past while you eating your food.
Not at all.
Things are different. Years ago, we won't go into the amount of years. The reason why I find this whole thing comical, and I do, because time flies, right? When I first met certain individuals in this room, I had no idea who you were, because we weren't in the same age bracket, right? And I was actually working for you guys. They helped pay for college, just so you understand, in the right ways. In the right ways. A good friend of mine, Tamara, is related to several people in the room, and that's family. And
Yes.
she says, "Listen, we have a chance to make money." I think I got paid $75 that night, and that was like $1 million. That was like Con Ed, you know what I'm saying? He said, "Can you do it?" I said, "Can I do it?" And then Mrs. Hughes is always very good. Like, we got picked up and dropped off to the club. Like, this is crazy. Anyway, so this Demorados, who bought that? Who bought that up, right?
Yeah.
Rollo bought, somebody bought that up. I couldn't think of the name of the club.
Wow.
That club, I did the door with Tamara and Kim, you know, we were ruthless. Everybody had to pay $20.
Remember that like yesterday.
Back then, if you didn't have $20 in your pocket to get in, we'd just go home. Who are you fucking tonight? Right? Where are we going, right? So anyway, I didn't know who you guys were. Not until later on in life, and I was like, oh, this guy is semi-famous, and that's kudos to you guys. You never acted different.
Wow.
Thank you.
Yo, what was the timeline though? You mentioned the parties.
I was that's 98. I had just turned 98, 99. I
So
just
in the
turned.
90s, alright, so you know,
Yeah, I just turned 18.
I'm saying if you paint the pictures, you gotta make sure you know it's the 90s.
I wasn't gonna, you know, black don't crack.
Yeah,
Sometimes
yeah,
you wanna mention it.
yeah, we don't
Yeah,
mind. Yo,
so, but it's been that long. So I mean, and we were just reviewing pictures from 88. When did this whole thing get started? How'd you meet?
Go ahead, Q's, you start. Big man.
Yeah, me and Chucky Smash, we from the same block. I I was in 880. He's in 820.
So when he's talking blocks,
Yeah.
I'm gonna intercede that when we talk about the Bronx, we're talking about the Lafayette section of the BX.
Hold
Sound.
on. You said sound resection.
Sound
Understanding.
So and politically speaking, so we talking about not the southeast Bronx, maybe? Southeast Bronx, technically speaking, just shy of Hunts Point.
People be like, yo, what part of the Bronx you from? I'll be like, I'm from the Soundview section of the Bronx. Because it's hard to say. I'm from the South Bronx. I'm from the
North Bronx,
Yeah,
Is it South Bronx?
You said
From the Hunts Point Soundview
Bronx, it's
section.
like, all right, I know where you at.
In a block or project, we got about 7 in our neighborhood.
Yeah, there's a
so.
bunch of projects where we at. Well, me and Smash, Lafayette is not a project. It's considered like middle class,
It is.
Especially the 80s.
right?
It's
It's so crazy. It's
Are we talking
middle.
about Class and Point? What are you talking about?
Lafayette Square Avenue.
What?
You know, we had
That is
What do you say it went for?
I'm not from the. I never agree in the story.
Yeah, there you go.
They're working class city workers, and they all have bread. Act
When you go
stupid.
5 blocks down, it's a different world.
Yeah,
Once you
exactly.
pass the Jimbos,
Exactly.
you go over there.
He knows what he's talking about.
My place goes.
He knows what he's
That's
talking
good, I
about.
know.
Lafayette
You
was
talking
like,
about?
you know, the working class. They got
Working class.
1.2 cars.
1.2 cars.
Lafayette had terraces.
Yup.
Yeah.
They still do. Don't say they have. They still do.
We used to have a sandbox.
We had terraces. We had
Those
Those are good niggas over
I'm gonna
there.
say it again, cut grass.
Yeah.
Yo,
we
yo.
had all that.
Listen to them. Look at them.
I am listening.
Now, I'm not. What's so crazy? Like Lafayette, all around it. You know, you got Monroe projects, Soundview projects, Castle Hill projects, Bronxdale projects. It's mad projects. Bronx River is mad projects. Monroe projects, but like Lafayette, it's so crazy. It breeded certain elements. A lot of people. I'm gonna just say certain names like Pistol Pete. Pistol Pete lived in my building. Yankee from Soundview. Pistol Pete lived on.
Baby Chris.
Baby Chris lived in the building
Yes,
across
Chris.
from me. Violated.
Went to
Yogi.
the G house with me.
Yeah, Baby Chris went to Gompers with me. We went to Gompers High
Conference.
School.
Oh, excuse us. You play basketball?
Nah, I was like.
Got you. Okay.
He was a DJ by trade. He
That
was a
works.
DJ.
Yeah, I was a DJ and doing, you know.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, I got you.
So, yeah, then you had Crew, Yogi and them.
Yep.
They from, yeah.
The Boogie Boys, the Fly Girl,
Yeah,
Rudy from
yeah,
Fort
Rudy.
Lee.
building.
Rudy, Fly
Which is
Girl,
not my building.
Fly Girl.
Tough video music
Right?
brothers.
Yeah,
Easy
there's a
LP.
lot, a
Big
lot
City.
of things came out of Lafayette.
How did everything work? Because obviously you guys were mainstream, which is what I find comical because I had no idea. Like, that's how crazy your energy was. You guys never brought that back to the house.
I mean, I'm glad you brought up the parties. I know you started with Q's, talking about the origins. But since you started off the interview talking about Demararas, before we got into the music, we was doing parties. Before we was doing parties, I mean, you know, as Q's was saying, we was from Lafayette. So we was from the street. You know, that's from the street. Granted, was from Lafayette. Dice is from Bronxdale, which was just across the bridge by White Castle, which we all love.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So intertwined, you know, obviously later on we'll capture the Dice. We was already, before we got into music, we was already always just
Party.
connected. Hip hop was in our DNA, you know, the origins, let's just call it what it is. The hip hop originated from the BX. And we just from that.
Yeah,
you know,
me and
we
Smash,
were
we used to go to
fortunate
the
and blessed.
we used to go to the block parties, different jams, and I was a Bronx dude that moved around the Bronx. I'm in Webster. That's how I got cool with showbiz. I'm from Forest. I'm all over the Bronx. And Smash, he's a year younger than me, so a lot of people always thought he was like my younger brother. I used to take Smash to the rooftop with me. Then Smash.
Yeah, yo, I want to say probably on my 14th birthday, he took, 14th birthday, 3, 4 in the morning.
1984.
Yeah, he took me to the
Big
rooftop.
Chris,
I was a
1984.
young dude in there, and I mean, everybody was in there. I was like, yo, Smash, that's Alpo right there, that's Rich Porter, that's AZ.
Yep,
We gonna go take this picture with Cisco.
yep.
We gonna,
Yeah.
you know, Brucey B. That's why on the Legion album, Brucey B is all over our album.
Especially that first album.
Yeah, our first album.
It was,
you know, like, yo, that's where we from.
it was definitely a staple, and you know now at that time mixtapes was in, and you know our area. Nobody never really talked. I'm gonna give Triple C a shout out. You know what I'm saying? Because,
Well, Tyreek,
Lord Tariq,
what you
yeah,
had?
Talking about Trip? Bargain.
Yeah.
and
Money
Balls,
Minnesota.
Minnie and Trip?
And when putting that album together, And, you know, with Brucey B being in and out the album like a mixtape from Rooftop, Q's
Yeah, I
being that they
say
used to go there, you know what I'm
I
saying?
say, we was the first one to
Yeah,
make
yeah,
the album
definitely.
like a
Yeah,
mixtape.
we the first ones
'Cause
that did
that album
that.
came out in '94. We did that with Brucey B back then.
All
Say
over the
that.
album.
Because
Yeah.
most people don't wanna own
They don't
what
know- they don't
they
know-
started.
they
And all you gotta do is the good thing about history is
You
it's
Google it.
recorded. And like you said, Google it, you can check it, you can ask Brucey B, you know, I think he had just came home
Yeah,
from his bid.
yeah.
That if those that know the streets in Harlem and New York and the Bronx in that particular moment, yeah, this was important, you know what I'm saying? And like Smash was saying, we was already partying, throwing
Yeah.
parties, hanging out, and to be a part of the culture, we was already doing it. MCing, Q was DJing / the streets. Smash was a hip hop writer, and just crazy writing rhymes, and I was roller skating, skate key, the
Let's-
rink, oh man,
Skate
I
Palace.
miss
skating
skating.
palace.
We
I'm
just-
from Bronxdale, for those that like we were saying, Bronxdale was responsible for the Black Spades, and you know, a lot of we were fortunate to see the from its inception, pretty much everything being cultivated and kind of being developed and formed, and you know, now we look back on it, you know, it's like it's crazy, you know, just like it was tailor made back then, you know, so to watch it now, it's really good, you know, to me. I think
Is it really good? Because that's one of my questions. When you look at the transition, and I understand that there's certain artists that you're
Mhm.
like, the Tekashis, I don't respect it. Right.
That's something different though. Like he shouldn't, and he's getting it, but he shouldn't be. He shouldn't be highlighted for him being whatever he is. I'm not gonna say if he's talented and I don't listen to him. I know about him, of course. I'm not gonna know about him. But in 1983, you had a bunch of whack shit out. There was always.
You curse at him?
What?
She just said.
How am I gonna have a job? I can't.
So
Yeah, but we can't do radio.
You know,
That's
so-
where I'm group from the '90s.
I'm just saying, like
Sugar Man, crazy.
every era has a moment where there's a bunch of whack shit out. So we just in another moment where the whack shit is being plastered, or because of social media and the outlets is being more visible, or you can hear it more. But there was always whack shit out. So this shit doesn't surprise me, man.
Speaking of whack shit, it's very important to not promote whack shit, but I think that it's very hard because you have people in your corner who just yes you to death.
Right.
Am I
Yeah,
wrong?
man,
Hynaken?
but the way oh my gosh, the way the game is right now, man, it's like when we came up, it had a meaning, it had a feeling, it had dignity, it had some type of loyalty.
I'm glad he
it
said
had
that. I've been
This
feeling
this thing right now, and I mean,
platform.
you know, we all have kids. Our kids put us on to this guy and that guy, and we listen, but it's like they don't care, man. Like when we was coming up, right? If I had a beef with Mike or Dave or whoever, say his name is Dave, and I see Dave, and he's with his girl, he's with his mom, she's with his kids, he got a pass. If I saw Dave
That's right.
on Sunday, he got a pass. And these kids now, they don't care who you with, what day it is, what time it is, and they ain't not even getting out the car. Man, man, they that nigga go right there, get out the car. We run up on him. These niggas is in the car driving and doing what they doing.
and kids out.
So
and
yeah, it's
people
like
getting
it's
hurt.
innocent people being affected, and that's the thing. Like it's like they don't care. They don't care about the culture. They just want the money. You know what I'm saying? And we didn't come from that. We came from like, yo, I like this shit. I like what I'm hearing. I want to do it.
Because you look at all your outfits, and this is not a jab by any means. You tally up what y'all are wearing. I'm not sure. It makes sense. My whole outfit cost me $80, and that's not because I'm a chick. My H&M, and this is somebody else's t-shirt. I spent, this is a $40 t-shirt, so that tells you the bulk of my items is the tube socks and the jeans. So when you add up everything that you guys have on, it tells you that there's style. So it's quality over quantity. It's how can I make it look versus how much I spend.
Man,
So-
I've been dressing like this since high school.
So look, we're fortunate, right? And this is the thing that our generation, we kinda gotta pay attention to. We just come from a time where standard was the norm, right? Even if you went and bought furniture, mass production wasn't what made it. It was, you went and bought a sofa, it was just a good sofa. It lasted for 20
Yeah, the
years.
quality.
Now you got a store where you could go buy a piece of shit furniture for $100, and guess what, if you poor, they even give you credit. So you could take this piece of shit home and pay for it in time. So music has become microwavable like that now, like, you know, it's microwave music, so I mean,
And
I
anybody
think-
could do it. Anybody.
but anybody can't be quality. So I think that's our edge, you know what I'm saying? Cause it's like,
You ain't gotta be nice. And I'm not saying everybody was nice back then, but a lot of stuff, like we would hear Eric B. and Rakim be like, oh, that record's crazy. We'd hear EP8, that record's crazy.
Again,
that
but look
record's-
at-
that record's crazy.
look
and
at-
it went on and on and on like that. So now it's like this. I'm not knocking this generation,
I mean, you know,
but it's like you don't hear something be like, oh, that shit crazy. It's popular.
now
I
you
hear it a lot.
gotta search for good shit.
Yeah,
now.
like you didn't have to search back.
Cause it
then.
was the norm,
And
standard
then you hear
was
Tribe
the,
Called Quest, or you hear Daylight, like, it's a list of names. You'll hear something hot, and you be like, oh, that shit hot, I'm rocking it. Now,
mass
it don't
production now.
have to be hot. It just turns, they play it, and it's streaming everywhere,
Yes.
and so everybody likes it.
Mm.
The
Nah,
crazy part about it is, it's a 360. So I don't care how many years it's been, right? No one cares. But when you have a new project, the Diceman and the power of now,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
So you're back in the forefront dealing with the same people we just spoke about. How does that work?
Again, for me, it's my edge. Because I know the clothes don't make me. I know what's gonna have to cut through everything is what's coming from inside of me. So I don't give a fuck what a nigga got on, how many chains of jewelry he got, or how, you know, I know pardon me, either my presence, my aura, you know, what's coming out my mouth is gonna speak for me before I even open my mouth. You know what I'm saying? So they can have all that shit. I'm glad this is a bunch of bullshit because it makes it easier for us to stand out.
What's great about this genre, and I'm sure you can appreciate this, I know you're happy, I know you wanna scream from the mountaintop, I
About
know
what?
you're so fucking, you're about to bust.
In regards to what though?
If you don't stop popping the gum, I know why you're excited, and
Why am I
you
excited
just
then?
wanna break, so you can go outside and just breathe, I know
Be
it.
sports for her.
I'm chilling. I already put on Facebook. See
I
y'all
just-
niggas tomorrow.
Right, anyway.
Let them chill, cause then I'm pulling out receipts for people like you.
We had a conversation before,
Oh,
this
yeah,
is nothing to
but
do.
But that doesn't mean the surgery isn't completed.
Shit is nuts.
All he's got was the, you know, the anesthesia.
Alright, you know
What's-
what, it's,
what's-
it's
What's
been-
beef? It sounds like beef.
No, this has been ongoing, and a lot of people, I have beef with certain people for years. Because there's dynasties, and whereas we can't figure out, well, the team LeBron is a dynasty with, right? Because he fucking picks his own team. The defense is different, the whole exchanging. the
How many
elite
coaches
defense.
he won championships with that are Hall of Famers?
Spoelstra
Oh,
and Pat Riley.
the
went to choke
videotape
the
guy that
shit
he
out of
made
him
him.
today.
So listen, let me get this straight. Do you or do you not like LeBron?
I hate LeBron.
Okay, that answers it.
And I respect LeBron.
So then that's all that matters.
Well, no,
You don't have to like
in
him.
case he watches this, I may run into him
Oh,
later.
he's definitely gonna
But
watch it.
respect is all
And I
that
wanna
matters.
clarify
Fuck,
things.
fuck liking
I'm not a
or loving
Beyonce
him.
fan, and this is a quick story. I was her bachelorette party. We're in Vegas, and you know, I
Whose
know
party?
one of my good friends, their cousin, and
Why you just made it sound
so
like
it's fine.
Beyonce?
No,
Yeah,
We're in
We all
Vegas.
heard you.
It's her bachelorette party, and you know, I don't like certain people, and she knows this. I'm not a Beyonce fan, so I'm shopping in Marshalls, which you hate. I was shopping in Marshalls, and I found my bridal gift for it was like $17. Don't tell her this. Anyways, I buy the T-shirt. I wasn't the maid of honor, so you don't want to step on toes. And by the second day, I wanted to kill myself. There was nothing set up, and she was like having a little bit of a moment. said, I got something for you. It's me in front of 8 bitches, right? So I know this is gonna go over very well. It was planned. She pulls out the shirt and she goes, why the fuck would you give? She goes crazy. She loses her shit, right? So I was like, I said, I don't know what I said, Matter, what's going on? She goes, why would you give me a shirt that says F Beyonce? So I said, nah, it says fiance. So Beyonce, but there was an F. But with the logo and everything, and she was fierce. So when she realized it, she was like, yo, Jay, my bad. So I was like, just simmer down. Just simmer down. So this is what happens. Like, you have people who are completely like fanatics and you don't want to get shit started. So it's just easier to walk away. And at the same time, these people look great, right? The Serenas, the Tigers, these people look great. It doesn't matter how I feel about them. They did a great job. I don't have to be a fan. You have to respect them. So I'm not happy, but it's over.
I think respect is
So
better than like.
if he ever came to New York, you still wouldn't like him?
I don't care who comes to New York, we're never gonna win. And that's just real.
That right there.
That's real talk. Don't waste your time on us.
Every team he's went to, he won a championship.
There's also
So
given a few by Popovich. I don't want to get, we have guests here, I don't have time for this. Let's get back to Robin Williams. You had Tim Duncan and Parker on the bench like in the fourth quarter of that game, and Popovich is curious, and like, Robert Horry comes in and scores like 8 points and 2. I don't have, do you see my shirt? Let's not start this conversation. Okay, Drez, let's speak to this for 20 seconds. That's somebody who was in your circle. I always pronounce this name wrong, and this is research I had to do on the back, and I was challenged. Not Image? Am I saying that right?
Image.
All right, yeah, I was
Like
working on
image,
this.
but image.
I was gonna say image, but I tried to
Yeah.
Image. I fucked it up. Anyway, working with that group or in conjunction with that group and sharing a budget and sharing resources and outlets, how hard was that? A, B, with Drez investing so much time into both projects? Do you think that it hindered his progress to a certain extent? Because when you're helping somebody, it does deter or detract from. I know how that goes for me. I'm just asking you guys. 25 years ago, what was your vibe then?
I think it was a good balance. It's just that
I think so.
we was doing 2 different things. They were a female. It's crazy. It was a female trio singer. They're singing, and there's 3 guys rapping. So
They had a crew, we had a crew.
We was deep.
They from
Big
LA,
girlfriends,
we
they was
from
deep.
New
No, they
York.
from Oakland.
Oakland, excuse me.
And they had
Excuse me.
it was a bunch of us, it was a bunch of them, it was a good chemistry. I think the bad part was the label at the time. It was I don't go into my pro-black thing, but at that time, I was going through my Mustaheen phase. And I was like, yo, this, they turning this into a black-white thing. And nobody, not to say.
But they got rid of their black
They
music
got rid
department.
of, yeah, right, and not when I said it, I was peeping the energy, cause Mercury, they had Kiss, they had Billy Ray Cyrus, and it was
I mean, you got
all
black
these
percent
big.
cues. We were signed to,
So we were signing Mercury Polygram.
Go ahead.
One Love
Right,
imprint.
yeah, One Love, Dress had a record label up there, and they had a lot of black artists, and all of a sudden, all the black artists were pushed to the side, and the white artists were being focused on. And I'm not even just talking about religion, I'm talking, they had Black Sheep, they had Blase,
Diamond D.
they had Diamond, they
Killer
had,
Mouse Scratch.
they had Vanessa Williams, Brian McKnight, Joe.
Wow.
So they had all these big black artists
Yolanda Adams, yeah.
that were being pushed
Wow.
to the back. And I mean, you didn't hear nothing from Vanessa Williams no more, you didn't hear nothing from Joe, he ended up going to job. And they just got rid of everybody that was black. And we was in that shuffle. So when everything was going on with Image and Black Sheep, everybody got affected. It wasn't just us. And I saw it. Before, I didn't know it was gonna go that way, but I saw it coming. I was like, yo, they focusing on everybody white up here. And music they don't have a color. It's just the way they was treating. And I'm like, yo, Vanessa Williams, she was a
Solid.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
Brian McKnight was big. Everybody was big at that time. That was up there.
Will
And they just,
Downing,
they had, I
Heavy
forgot about Will Downing. Yeah, everybody
Yolanda
up there
Adams.
was big, and they was pushing them. They was just focusing on the other.
I just find it to be interesting, because you look at the past to now, and how much music. So for me, I was more of a fan, until I got into the industry later on, and still I'm not as savvy as I should be. I look at how many artists or acts I used to love and follow, the Carl Thomases, and we'll leave that alone, okay? And you go, what happened to this person? And you run in later on to this individual and you find out maybe there was a contract issue or whatever. So it's kind of crazy how you have this talent you're looking for, and it's really politics.
Yep.
Outside of the politics, give me one thing that you would, and anyone can answer. You've been very quiet, Chucky. We'll ask this to you.
Right.
One thing you would change over the reign of your career, if you could. One thing that you feel like was an instrumental issue that you would reverse.
So, me personally.
No,
or
for the group.
For the group, you know, we just ended talking about, you know, like Q's was talking about the whole situation with Mercury, and not that he was making it a color thing. You know, so that at that time we was always a group. We still are a group, and we never stopped being a group. So, you know, you say, Jay-Z always say, you know, made a song, you gotta learn to live with regrets. We kinda stopped, not kinda, we did stop, you know, cause it was almost like we were signed to One Love, which was Dress, which we will always be indebted to him. But it was like after that, it was like, all right, so if Polygram and Mercury is, if it, whatever, it's going, you know, they're just moving on. What are we gonna do? And we had a law. We did put out a record with Fat Beats. We put out a single. But at the end of the day, you look at our peers. When we came up, our peers. Not to say that we're still not doing it. MOP still rocking. You know, they're probably one of the main groups. Obviously, Primo, Gangstar. They were from that era. J-Ru the Damager. We're still working. Showbiz and AG, even though it spawned into DITC and they're doing a lot of work. I think for us, me personally, for us as a group, we got hung up in not putting out more work. And at the end of the day, you gotta put out more work. We did eventually come up with more work, but it's kind of late.
I mean, listen, the Micon, can't fuck that up. Listen, I appreciate the candor, because most people can't tell you what they did wrong. A lot of people can't. I have a hard time explaining. I know what I need to do better, so I really appreciate that, because most people don't want to talk about that. Do you have any major questions? Because I could go here on and on. Like, any major questions that I have a whole situation.
In terms of like paperwork, what are certain things that you were like, damn, I didn't know that they snuck this in? Because, you know, navigating through the music industry with paperwork and business, percentages, and how things play out. And especially now that I'm hearing you guys got kids, so now as I get older, you're gonna have to transfer your royalties over to make sure they're good. Like, what are certain things that you're like, damn, we didn't really know what we were getting into?
You just said it, like, just a better understanding of what we was coming into, and from a business perspective, like, had we understood this was more of a business move than a music move, then we could have put out more music, you know, and in my eyes, you know, I'm biased because it's us, and I think he's a super producer, and I fight for him because I wanted him to get more, him being a super writer, I wanted him to do more, but that all came from the lack of not understanding the business. Had we understood the business better, like what you just said, like that was it, those are the things we didn't know, like.
I mean, if I could, we were happy. We come from an era where people were getting record deals, so we got the, everybody, you know, a lot of people talk about it, cliche, you know, it might be old now, but we had a deal.
Back then, that was
you got signed, my G, we got signed. We was signed by,
That's
who
like
was the
making
black
the league.
sheep? What's the black sheep? We was on, B.
Big deal.
To add on to what he said, I would say the publishing, like, we didn't understand, we didn't know nothing about that. And I've learned later on, like, if okay, I'm gonna use another record label, like, say, like Tommy Boy, right? Everybody that signed to Tommy Boy, he took some of their publishing. And he took some of their publishing because he pushed their records.
I guess that,
And he would make some money off of it. And you go down the list, whether it be Naughty by Nature, De La Soul, Humpty Hump, they hold Queen Latifah, everything that was on Tommy Boy got burned all over the radio. So what we learned,
I want to talk about this.
it was we didn't sell any of our publishing. We have our publishing. And when it was offered to us, we thought that it was the right thing to just keep it.
Keep 100%.
But I know now, I'd have been like, yeah, get them niggas 20% because they gonna play that. They
Take
gonna
50.
bang that record, and we're gonna get some of that. We gonna get. You don't come off like dealing with a conglomerate. You don't come off of some of that publishing. That's back then. Now, you ain't gotta do that. Keep all your publishing, but back then, like sit down with somebody, and they tell you, listen, you sell XYZ, some of that publishing, you're gonna be on the radio all day. If you don't, you got a hot ass record that you and your mans is gonna listen to.
Here.
Like a Drake, he ain't gotta sell no publishing. Takashi, any of these guys now, they ain't gotta sell no publishing. But back then, we didn't have social media. I couldn't just. We had no outlets. The only way you could get in contact with the Legion is reaching somebody at Mercury Polygram, and hopefully you could, whoever's the A&R or
Publicist.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? So your answer your question, that publishing thing, I think we would have did that a little different.
A lot different.
Now, yeah, we got all our publishing, but what's
100%
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like back then, it would have. I would have been like, yeah, y'all need to take some
It's
of
a
that.
Shark Tank comment. You had a follow-up question to that though, because you were.
You know, a lot of artists, even young artists to this day, they really don't, if they're not in the game, they don't understand what it really takes to have a successful record, to be a successful artist. What is, even from, what are the parallels now that is still the same that is needed? Because I know what it takes just to have a hit single is at least 250.
Yo,
Oh, if you got enough connects, you can get away with 125.
right, I mean,
He's still like, right, yeah.
You know they know what I'm talking about.
cause I'm just saying.
Yeah,
again,
what does it take?
You know how many things gotta be lined
Of
up,
course.
right? No, but that's to stay where you at.
Mm-hmm.
What Smash said, what I said, what you said, Q said. So many things gotta be lined up and in place to me. Again, I believe, and I don't think I'm not gonna say what I say it is, but it's all business. Nothing just happens.
Thank you.
If the Legion sold them hats, they sold 1 million hats. Why? Because 4, 5, 6 things had to take place for that to, so it's usually gonna be 4, 5, 6 people,
Of course.
4 or 5, 6 different machines that push this one hat to that place. Chance the Rapper, he got that hat. People like, oh, he didn't just come out of nowhere. Excuse me if I ain't up on the mic. He didn't just come out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, what does it take? It takes money, business planning, publicists. It takes management. It takes the jaded idea for some artists to think, oh, my shit is hot. Oh, I'm gonna kill these motherfuckers.
There you go.
Yo, my whole hood's rocking this shit.
There you go.
Unless all 300 people from your block is gonna lobby for you and become the machine, it's gonna stay right on your block.
Most people on your block hate you. I hate to bring that up, and I think
No,
that's
that's
the biggest
facts.
issue, right? People don't like you or your music, and you have to explore outside of your demographic.
You have to.
And then once you leave and come back, it's like,
It's fake
they're
life.
okay.
That's funny.
They're
It's
okay.
fake like, yo, Jenna, we saw the show. Yo, you had Oprah on the show. Yo, you killed it.
They hate me. Yes, they like
Y'all ever missed out on a feature or like a collabo with somebody because paperwork didn't go through or a record
Great
didn't go
question.
through that you were
I
like,
got the perfect perfect one. Okay. And I don't want to blame nobody. But
somebody here,
no,
again.
no, not them.
Nah, he felt it. He was like, oh, no.
I know what he about to say.
we were off it. This when Bone Thug and Harmony, they were big. They were huge at the time. They were like going next level. So they getting ready to go on tour.
That's a good
And
bring up.
we had the same booking agency, and we had a meeting in there with the guy. Can't remember his name, but he was popping. He was cool dude. He said, "Listen, man, Bone Thug, they had to pick between XYZ," and then he said a couple of names. He said like MOP. He said a few names, and he said they was like, "Yo, we want them dudes the guy that he jumped in the pool, what's that Jingle Jump something? And he was like, the Legion. He was like, yeah, we want them. And I was like, what? The nigga, they wanted us to come on. I was like, oh, let's do it. The label said, y'all ain't selling no records in the market that they're going. And I was tight. I was like, when we get there, we gonna sell records because we gonna hit the stage and they gonna see.
And so,
And they pulled out the BDS sound scan, and they was like, yo, our market went from New York, we selling a bunch of records, New York, DC,
Philly,
Philly,
Philly and Jersey gave us mad love.
Philly, we was rocking in Philly all the way down to Bama. Atlanta dudes was rocking with us, but the Midwest, we was selling in spots.
Yeah.
And they was like, look, y'all ain't selling no records here. And I was like, yo, let us go. We gonna sell records when we get there.
And it goes back to what you said. Sorry, it goes
No,
back.
especially back then when you had CDs, you could physically sell the product. It's not like streams, you could physically sell the CDs, so that's different.
And it goes back to what he said. We wasn't pumping in that area because we didn't sell the publishing to get pumped.
Yeah.
I have a question, was there conferences, and I'm not trying to, don't kill me, I know like A3C and South by Southwest is 32 years young as far as how long they've been doing this. But in your heyday, what conferences were you guys?
They had joints down south.
Jack the Rapper.
No, we did. How could I be there? We did one of them big ones in Cali, and that's
San Francisco.
San Francisco.
Everybody.
San Francisco's a big radio.
That was a big.
Which one was it?
Sway did a reason why I remember that so clear. He did a 24-hour freestyle.
Okay.
And he had everybody like. It was us. It was Boot Camp. It was Outkast. It was Nas. It was Biggie, and it was like.
The alcoholics.
Everybody just went like a long line.
So hold on, paint the
Easy
scene.
was there.
So everybody was like lined up,
Yo,
and it
he
was.
had-
I paid the series.
Oh, I need to hear this.
Yeah.
We get to whatever this campaign, this is the 90s. We get to the hotel lobby and it's a rap festival. We get there, it's Easy-E, it's Hoes with
Hoes with
Attitudes.
Yo, we saw everybody out there.
It's Master Ace. You know, we doing shows in Oakland.
Super Cat was out there.
Yeah, we Bronx boys in a rented van. New York City niggas in rented van.
And San Fran.
In San Francisco.
I mean, we didn't drive the rented van.
We ain't drive, but
record
I was
label-
gonna say, I was like, y'all drove.
No, the record label flew us out there and they had a driver. They ain't put us in a limo. They was like, y'all, this is y'all driver. We gonna run y'all
We
around.
was out there for about a week.
And we was out there for a few
Come
years.
on, man.
And I mean, like, I never seen nothing like that in my life. A 24-hour freestyle, like it went on and on
Big
and
up
on.
Sway and Tech, it was dope.
Yeah.
How about this, would y'all reenact that?
What, Sway and Tech?
That's not what I said, the Legion. That's all I said. I said reenact that.
We
Reenact what though?
24-hour cipher.
That's a lot of money.
That's
That's
I don't think so. I think if you have
Really?
via Zoom, this isn't different.
Via Zoom.
It's a whole different ballgame.
So who hosting it? You hosting it? You
No
doing it?
problem. I'll do it.
You doing it? Go ahead. You got
I-
to get together, bro. You
I
do
ain't
it.
never seen nothing like that before.
I'd like to ask you a question.
Okay.
Oh, yes, no, he has a question.
I've been rocking with you since your first single, Jingle Jangle.
Appreciate you.
The first video,
Appreciate you.
groundbreaking. I'm from that time, I'm 44.
Blessings.
The first video, who shot it? Because I think it was very advanced for that time, the whole grabbing the camera thing and all
I got
that.
a story for that.
And style-wise, I think it was very advanced style-wise, dressing-wise.
Thank you.
The jacket you wore, we spoke about the Bear or the North Face. We stole that after. Who was behind your style? That was a two-part question.
So first, I'll tell you the producer, and I'll let you finish. The guy who did our video, God bless him, we don't know where he's at, Craig Henry. And he's, and I'm gonna prop him, he's the reason why Craig Mack did Flavor in Your Ear.
So hold up,
Go
there's a
ahead,
story
go ahead.
behind that.
There he goes.
Q's and I think was mixing, he was mixing the album in the Hit Factory.
Yeah.
And Puffy was in there. We knew Puff. And Puff gave us some love. He was like, yo. We knew him from the parties before, when he was throwing the parties,
Howard,
coming
right?
back. DC.
I
New
actually
York.
know, I know Puff just to cut you,
No.
called him Spelman.
Spelman, baby!
The Spelman pilot.
Smell, yo, listen.
I know Puff.
The fastest car.
Puff went to Mount St. Michael.
That's right.
Not that I really knew him, but he went to Mount St. Michael.
right.
And then Wild Rivals. Continue.
So, he sees Q's and I. Q's is on his engineer extraordinaire shit. He's mixing and we in there, he give us love. And again, this was regular. You know, nothing, you know, Puff is big, but he's just like the party guy. This time we running, it was kind of equal. I say we was kind of level in terms of, you know, it wasn't like, oh, that's Puff. So it was like, yo, what's up? He saw him, what's up, man? Blah, blah, blah.
Puff was a party boy.
So
But
we,
he had just started.
he had just started is what I'm saying. And he was like, yo, he was like, who shot the video? And I was like, yo, that was our man. Cause we had got cool with Craig Henry for a couple of weeks before we actually shot the video. And I had a book with his number. And I said, yo, I'll give you the number to the guy. He's like, yo. So Puff took the number. Then about 3 weeks later, Craig Henry gives me a call. And he's like, yo, you know that guy, I can't think his name. And I was like, yeah, Puff. He was like, yo, I just did a video for him. And I was like, okay. Come to find out, the video he had just shot was Flavor in Your Ear. So I was like, oh, that's dope. So I'm not saying we connected that, or, you know, I plugged him, but that was.
But what's so dope about Craig, to add on to what you was asking, like Craig is like, he's like a real, like, smart science guy.
Yeah.
So when we met him, and he was like, yo, your name is Molecules. He said, I'm into Molecules
that
atoms. And I was
yeah.
like, he's like, why do you call you Molecules? And I was like laughing. I said, yo, I'm just into everything, dude. That's why they, you know, call me that. So he's into, his mind is on a whole nother level. And he would, to me, I've never seen that before. He was like, yo, strap the camera on him. And he was filming us with like 3 cameras. He was like, Hughes, grab the camera. And I was doing
That's one of the famous spots.
Yeah, he was like, Hughes, just grab the camera. He's like, how much you weigh? At the time, I was like, 240. He said, I'm gonna put the camera under that. Jump on it.
Like some fiberglass shit.
Yeah, he was so
on
advanced. I was like, yo, this guy had this thought process, and he put the camera on the ground and had like a whole thing built around it. And I jumped on top of it. So like when the beat dropped, like burn, and you see me jump on it. And I was like, yo, that's a crazy idea. So when he did Craig Mack's video, me and him talked about that too, because we stayed in touch. And he was like, Craig Mack, I took him to the, what's that, Queens? She said, I sprayed the floor. I wet the floor. He said, the whole floor is wet. It looks like Craig is like floating on something.
Water, nice.
But it's water. He said, I just wet the whole floor. I was like, yo, this guy.
Yeah,
But that's how he thought.
And who was on the set was Hype Williams.
Yes,
Jenna.
Hype Williams was on the set as not.
And they were big dog films at that time.
Big dog films.
And again, Craig, he ended up going and working and doing other things at BET.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying anything negative about Puff, but Puff wanted to, whatever he did, he wanted to put his name on it. So that's how he was able to get directors, and every video said, directed by Sean did every video he put out.
But it was Craig Henry though.
But Craig Henry, no, Craig didn't shoot those videos. I think those videos were hype.
Oh, right.
But he wanted to do that with Craig, and Craig wasn't with that. Craig's like, no, my name. And that's how I think Craig only shot Flavor in Your Ear, but all the rest of the videos was done by somebody else.
Fashion wise, so who?
That was just us.
That was us on a Tuesday.
I'm gonna give you another one. There was a chick. Damn, she worked at Mercury.
Michelle Murray?
Yeah, I think it was Michelle. She was like,
She wanted us to help.
she was like, yo, would y'all mind styling XYZ in them? I was like, I'm not nobody's stylist. She was like, is this the way they dress? I wouldn't mind if you could have them dress like you. I was like, nah, man, this is how I dress. Like, we was like, at that time, and I'm
They
not
weren't
just,
offering you no money?
nah, she just,
That's another missed opportunity.
see, a lot of things we just didn't know. We
that makes sense.
We dudes from the street, we into the,
But they didn't offer you any money either.
no.
So they were hoping that you would just
We
say,
said,
no
yeah,
problem. And
yeah.
this is what's wrong with black folks. I'm black and white. I say what I want. I don't care. Black folks are looking out for black folks or for GP, and it's not always the case.
Let me plug you to some bad. Let me
That's
plug you
not
to the bad.
And I want to finish with what you said, and then you go, brother, my bad. What made us stick out at that time, the whole industry at that time, besides Daylight and them, everybody had a grungy look. Nobody wanted to get haircuts. Everybody had
that was the hardcore era.
The Legion, we didn't come from that. We came from the butter soft leathers. We gotta be fresh, the
hats,
all that. So it was like, nah, my Tim's gotta be clean. And a lot of rappers, I don't want to say no names. Everybody was like, I'm gonna look dirty, and I'm gonna wear
I
this
remember
dirty
that
army
era.
jacket, I'm gonna wear these dirty army pants, and they ran around like that.
No colors, just
We didn't,
green
we was,
and brown.
nah, I had on a polo leather jacket with the buckles in the Legion
Crazy.
video. That polo jacket was like a band. Back then, that's a lot to just throw on a jacket.
3,500 right now.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that's how we was, and everybody on the set, our whole team, everybody, Mark Buchanan's, Averex's, that's what was in back then, except for the outsiders. Everybody was with the, so that's why she wanted us to do the, yo, can y'all dress these dudes for us?
Let's get to that, because we're talking to style and fashion and brands and things, right? I always speak to the 70s, looking at my dad, and I'm sure you guys can appreciate this, the
No
Mr.
doubt.
and Mrs. Hughes, you look back and there was no brand names, Cavalli, you know, shit like this, little cost. Nobody was rocking Gucci and Prada. You were cool because you styled whatever you found in Woolworths. With that said, this day and age, everybody's wearing Gucci, Prada, Fendi, and they can't spend any money on their project. No website, no business cards. There's nothing. There's nothing. No trips. How important is it to you to tell people that you shouldn't be wearing more on your person than you're spending on your project? I mean, how can we speak to that? Because again, you just spoke to, whereas it was $1,000 jacket, I'm sure you still have that in your closet somewhere. Don't answer the question. So that's the question. But that's my 2 cents. I think that the new era, everybody is associated and obsessed is the word, not associated, obsessed
Nice.
with fashion
Valid.
and wearing, you know,
They want to look the part.
But you live in a one bedroom.
Some people don't even come from it. They just follow it. But again, you and I'm not. This is fact. If you look it up, you see back then, me and Dice, we got on $1,000 months when nobody was really rocking that. But that's what we wore, and people would say, "Yo, what jacket is that?" I was like, "It's a mama." They was like, "What's a mama?" I was like, "It's a ski coat." Because at that time, nobody was wearing it.
And you want to keep it funky. We was wearing them shits in high school.
Yeah, like, and I mean, back then, like, nobody knew what it was. They was just getting hip to North Face. We already ran through North Face and was on to the
I
next.
know what was going on, but you know, when Fab was talking about 4-figure jacket prices, I said, let me just take a time out. I know what's going on, you know what I'm saying? So there's certain things that I love about the energy here, and Spelman's a whole different energy. We are very blessed.
Yeah.
We are very blessed that we
Yeah.
went through that bullshit, because let me tell you, that we would, I'll speak for myself, I was a snotty motherfucker, because, you know, you have a uniform on, because you're in a uniform.
These guys went to public school. They don't understand. We fancy, baby. We fancy. We went to Catholic school.
It's tough.
Smash was
These
fancy.
guys right here, these is the grind right here.
Smash
But I sure
was
who went to Catholic school? Who went to Catholic school? All
I
right.
went both.
So you know the deal.
All right, so we see the outsiders.
I went
So continue to,
I had no choice but to go
so
to
we're from
Catholic.
the upper echelon.
We are very lucky. We are very lucky to have seen it, because guess what? And don't jump me over the table. But there's so many different people who came out of Spelman. Sotomayor, don't judge me. No. We do a big things.
Now let me tell you who's coming.
Leon.
Go ahead.
We could be here, you know what I'm saying? So we could be here all day. A lot of people came out of Spelman. But my thing is, Spelman saved me from a lot of jail time, because if I was in public high school, well, it wouldn't have went well. That's just about, I did sports. I was into music, but more like mainstream. I didn't know too much about you guys, which I feel sad about. I wish I would have been digging more into Tamara's family history. Like I said, she knows everybody. You come over to the house, it's like, oh, look at this guy. I mean, it's wacky.
That's all right.
She walked into. So I regret that, because I would have been interested to see your growth, especially dealing with someone like a Maison and a Chi.
Yeah, that's
I didn't
family.
see, you know what I'm saying? Dealing with Chi, I didn't realize how tight that circle was until you walk up and I'm like, oh, you're here. So it's just, I missed that mark, and I guess she was locked up back then.
Nah, she was
But
with us.
before that, yeah.
Back in 2000, was he done by then?
I mean, you
He
do
was done.
a quick, you know, I'm gonna chop through a quick. Spelman, you and I, Spelman. Ballard Square, Spelman. Chi Ali went to Spelman.
For briefly.
Yeah,
His
'cause
brother.
Chi's brother, me and his brother grew up together, right?
Yeah.
So Chi's younger than me. So his brother went away for a hot second. So it was like
Right.
I stepped in like kind of like big brother. Chi's like running with me, but I'm older than him. So that's how I ended up getting him with Rollo. I was like, yo, y'all the same age. I smashed little
Rollo and
brother.
she went to Spelman. Just
Yeah.
came to see you.
I know, and Neil, God rest Neil. Oh my God, Neil, go ahead.
And for the record, she is what really, you want to be technical, she brought us into the game, because he put me with Dress.
Facts. Funky MMA, fabulous.
Shout out
that time for you,
Baby Chris lived across the street from me, and we went to the same high school. So like later
Which
on,
high school was that?
we
Let's
went
pick
to
it up.
Samuel Gompers.
He's a
All
Gompers.
right, public school. There you go.
Gompers was a problem though.
Tim Dog,
Hold on.
Tim Dog
You
was
played
Gompers.
ball?
Nah, I was just
Jenna,
on
I'm gonna cut you.
my
He's a DJ. He went to Stevenson and Spelman. Let's keep. These guys
Well,
don't play.
Stevenson
I
not
play
bad.
sports. These guys don't play sports.
Smash was the
Shot.
fastest guard. He says this all the time. I was the fastest guard in Spelman.
How did y'all, what's your record this month? Because you know, state champ over here, but my pitch is still in the gym.
Our basketball record wasn't that great. Chill. Let's just stick on that.
My pitch
academic
is my, me
stuff.
and Mary, you know that, right? Me and Mary was in the gym. We have a whole
Spelman, let's
picture
keep,
of
let's
us.
keep it clear.
Yeah.
Spelman was an academic school. This guy went to listen, he went to Gompers Technical School. There were a bunch of goons on 125th Street.
Yeah.
And this guy went to Stevenson High School in the Bronx. Home to a lot of big basketball players, Will and
Yeah,
David
yeah,
Kane
yes.
and a lot of great players.
Yep.
Spelman, we went for the academics, so continue, Mozzie.
Don't do that, don't do that.
Listen, you gotta
The
keep.
guys' basketball team tried their best.
I was on it.
Sue Bird.
I played my first. Listen,
Listen,
Kenny
Christ King
Anderson's
had nothing
first
less.
game. I played against Kenny Anderson's first game.
Oh, you played against Kenny?
I played against Kenny Anderson. I
That's
played
serious.
against Jamal Mashburn. I played
On
against
Spelman?
God.
Kenny Smith.
Oh yeah, because it was
Catholic
on.
school, Archbishop.
Malik
Yo.
City, God rest his soul. Yo, that's right. You better recognize. I
Yes.
spit
hats
balls,
off.
but I play ball. Listen to me. My name is Jamal, aka MC Wilk C. He is Cutmaster Marvy D. This is my man Sean, aka C.
Dice.
the Diceman.
Right. I'm not getting.
But as, when you stick it to Spelman, when you go back to them days, we're talking about the 80s, I was the point guard for Cardinal Spelman High School, the Cardinal Spelman Pilots.
Pilots back then.
And we got mopped up
Not
by
the
Malik
Falcons.
Sealy, by Jamal Mashburn, by
That's
Kenny
a L.
Anderson.
Wow.
If it's anything, but then
Wow.
after that,
Wow.
11, 12 o'clock, I'll be, by the grace of God, with this guy and these guys, we go to Skate Key and I dance it off after the 50-point loss to those guys. But I played, I was there, we was there.
I don't care how much you
Mom.
lost by to be on the same stage as that. 'Cause you know Monique
Yes.
Coker. Monique, Monique used to punch my. Listen, she used to fuck my ass up. We won. She knows the deal. Like, we won, we beat her ass. But Sue Bird, we never got to play Sue Bird because of a cross-court pass by Zakira Belson to St. Peter's and Saturday Night. Ziggy, I'm not mad, but I'm mad. We couldn't play them. We would have killed Sue Bird. So you look at that, we killed Murray Bergstrom. So it's hard. You look that up. Look at my face. I'm not even.
Whoa, we got like 10 chips under the belt. What are you talking
It
about?
was a girls' school, shit.
I went to Bergstrom. That's up in Merrill
In
Street.
their
Girls'
gym.
school, yeah.
And in our gym, we came to them, and Brooklyn smelled different back then. We got out the bus, I was like,
No,
it was
that's
different
no.
air.
That's Manhattan.
Bergstrom
We
is
was in Manhattan, not in
Oh,
Pearl Street.
they're
Bergstrom is
Manhattan?
33rd, right?
No, it's on
No,
Brooklyn Bridge.
That's Norman
that's
Thomas.
Norman
That's Norman
Thomas.
Thomas. That's that. Yeah. Well,
See, I only know the schools because we
No,
cut schools.
Bertram, I want to say is in Brooklyn. I'm almost positive. Where's
Nah,
Bertram?
Bergstrom is on Broadway, over by Brooklyn Bridge, over by
Right. So I'm
One Police
thinking it's
Plaza.
Brooklyn. I don't think it's as far as I'm
It has
concerned.
the
we was headed
Brooklyn
to Brooklyn.
aura. It has the Brooklyn aura.
That's what I'm saying too. As far as I'm concerned, we're in fucking Brooklyn. I don't care where the hell we are. As far as I'm okay, we're in Manhattan. We still beat the shit out of them. I don't care. We never got credit for it. Regardless, it's all about getting credit. I'm excited to understand Spelman. And we're badasses. Spelman, they think Catholic school is so. Oh, we're thugs in uniforms. Is all I have to say about that. All right, let me see what I didn't cover. Okay, just quickly. Favorite music video and why? Quickly, 2 seconds.
Favorite music video?
Yeah.
It gotta be something from Jay-Z. Go ahead.
Pick one. That's it. You good?
That whole Streets is Watching, all of that.
Oh, that was a good.
Friend of foe, state
Yeah,
your
yeah.
biz. With tennis dog, there it
Wait,
is.
who's the sports head? I should have asked that.
He's
to
a
you.
sports head.
Good. That's great. Favorite movie and why?
Oh, shit.
Come on, guys, stop.
Favorite movie?
That's easy.
Coolie High.
For what? Why?
The emotions it makes you feel that I
I
was too
started
young.
crying when they killed Coach.
Yeah, that shit had me
Don't,
fly.
why did you do that? This is why men can't cry now. They're being ashamed. They can't.
I'm
It's bad.
in tune with my emotions.
I was like, Dice, stop crying.
You know,
Like,
Stop crying.
and I threw Cooley High out there because again, that was epic, man. The movie, the director, everything, man. You
Yeah, that
know,
movie was dope.
we was kids, we was babies watching that shit, getting all caught up in our feelings. Like, oh shit,
I was like 6.5. I don't know what the fuck y'all two talking about. I don't
We
care.
talking about you.
Rollo,
You said the wrong song.
don't engage with him.
You talking about
Don't
you.
engage with him.
I'm just happy to be here.
Rollo, I'm happy you're here.
Yeah,
sir.
Rollo's the.
I love me some Rollo. Rollo has been a troublemaker. Listen, you sir, yo, this has been 25 years of what the fuck. And you know, you're around, but not you, sir. Trouble.
I lied about my favorite movie. I'm sorry.
Which one is it then?
Friday the 13th, the first one.
Yo, this nigga likes horror movies. That's why I was like, come on, guys, stop
Yeah,
playing.
I'm a horror
This
corny
nigga
movie
be like,
guy.
yo, did you
Alright,
see
wait.
kill his mother?
There's
Yeah,
a new Candyman coming out. There's a new Candyman coming out. What do you think?
I don't know. I'm a Friday the 13th head.
I heard
I'm
that.
Jason. I thought that story was amazingly written for him to not be brought into the movie to the second. That's deep. They killed that.
I'm telling you. I'm
Yeah,
telling
Friday the
you.
13th. I love Cooley High, no disrespect, but Friday the 13th is my kids would hear this and be like, Dad, you like Friday the... I got a Jason mask. I got a collectible one and a rubber joint. Real shit, I'm 50 years old. Told my age. Yeah.
Well, that one.
Sorry, Joe.
Okay, that's cool. I
That's what I'm
respect
here
that. Chucky, we're gonna go to you for a second, and then after this, I gotta get where you're from and your Instagram and shit like this because we haven't even talked about your music, which is fine.
Right? They get to know
Jenna,
who we
you
are.
family, man. We just
This
talking.
is great.
We
This is
just
great.
talking.
I just think that, to be quite frank, if most people tune in to hear like where you're from and where you work, go kill yourself. The interview sucks. Like Jimmy Kimmel, like shooting like chickens out of a cannon. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like okay, and where? What are you working on? And you have 7 minutes, and most people go, you know, Jay, what am I paying for? 20 minutes to sit next to me and Spliff and eat food and have a couple of free drinks and maybe smoke some pot. And then they go, it's only 20 minutes. I go, it's only 20 minutes because I said, have you watched Ellen DeGeneres or like a Jimmy Kimmel?
7 minutes.
It's 7 minutes. It's 4
15
minutes of,
seconds.
what the hell? Okay, and where were you? So you see you last time?
Commercial.
Thanks for coming.
And then you come back, it's table tennis and tell me your project, where can they find you? And then you're kicked off the stage and then, you know, Miley Cyrus comes out and dry humping the fucking stage. It is what it is. Let's get to you for a second. Okay, most memorable sports moment, good or bad? Case up. Woo, where we going?
Oh, man.
Most memorable sports moment,
Yeah.
home in the 70s at my auntie's house, Reggie Jackson hitting them home runs. Got the Reggie bar. I'm sitting there. We could
That's
turn
dope.
that. I could turn on the TV. I was in her living room. I could turn it down and get
Good
Reggie.
Shit.
Whenever they was playing the Dodgers, sometime in the 70s, 3 homers.
Reggie Jackson.
Yeah, that was like my favorite candy.
Wow.
That was
The orange rapper.
as a kid. You know when you like just hold on to something, just make you smile with the smiley face. Reggie Jackson.
That's like 77.
77.
I remember that shit now.
I'm in there,
I remember that
crisscross
shit.
applesauce, sitting in the living room. My auntie turned the TV down, and she lived on the concourse on 162nd. The old Yankee Stadium was on 161st. We could turn the TV down,
And hear it.
and I could
And hear
hear how I was transformed. That's why I know that I'm an alien. I'm transformed. I'm from the world of Yankee, from the NY.
That's cool. How what the lotto? We can talk about this later. She's need a lot of numbers for tomorrow, man. I got you.
Come on. You know I played the number.
Oh,
This
shit.
nigga, used to
He got
run
big
around
red and
with-
big blue.
What's your
used to run
sign,
around
Chuck?
with that.
Charles the Bullet, my
I knew it. I knew it.
Yeah, I knew it. May
My
17th.
heart,
knew
you see
it.
my heart, you see the red? My
What's
heart
your
is
son?
on my
What's your date of birth?
May 16th.
I said May 17th. You heard what I said. You heard what I said, right? I was one day over.
I heard you. I was
Alright,
gonna say something.
I'm usually pretty good with that. It's kind of scary. It's a frightening moment, and I am nervous because that sign is very dangerous. That's my brother's sign. I want to stab myself in the face with 2 dull pencils. You guys are not fun to deal with. You guys are about your business. You're seclusive. You're what's the word?
Reclusive.
Which
She said
is what?
Huh?
He
That's
said
right.
himself.
No,
He said that himself.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, right? It's a Jeopardy question. I cheated. I know you heard. I know I heard that from you. But that's just. Your sign is important to our culture. Very aggressive but quiet. It's weird, right? But like crazy. Like that's.
Joe Pesci, he's our Joe
I gotta
Pesci.
tell you, You bring up,
Please.
you bringing up zodiac signs?
Yes.
Let me get clear to the mic. I deal with 2 Geminis, both of them. Alright? Gemini 1,
June what?
the
Gemini 1, Gemini 2. He's born first. He's my big
June
brother.
what?
13.
Okay, so, go on.
June 14th.
You guys are a tough sign to deal with.
Yeah, Gemini.
I'm opposite of you guys. So Jazzy was your sign. Good God. Male or female, you guys are hard to please, man. You guys are insatiable. Am I wrong?
I'm 2 people.
I know that. And you don't know what either of you motherfucking want.
Wait, I'm in the group with them. Help! I gotta get some help.
You're losing.
20-something years in the group. How do I, can I live?
4 against 1.
20
Not a
something.
chance.
It's 20. Right, there you go. Get your numbers.
4 against 1.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't sound like a plan.
Not fair. Not fair. My
But
CJ, not fair.
that's why he's
not
so
cool,
motherfucking
Dad.
tough.
But he's very quiet because he doesn't feel like being bothered, which I think is also a big a speaking point to that sign. They're talking about you and cursing you out every waking moment, but they're just keeping it to themselves. They're waiting for that right moment to let it.
You
Well,
get,
yes or no?
You get him in the studio,
That's
you get Chuck in the studio, and he got his sips and he got his smoke. I got a pistol whip him to calm him down.
Facts. Right now, I'm working on my current. You said we weren't talking about music, but right now I'm currently working on taking the Pelham 1, 2, 3, produced by Molecules. I'm so happy. I'm fucking ecstatic, and he has to calm me down. They like, yo, the engineer.
You can see he's busting at the seams, and this is what I'm talking about. You know, you can see he's just
Yeah,
he's not
he's a
contained.
ball of fire.
You know, I'm just busting your balls, and you know, I'm gonna
It's
get
all
this
right.
later on to Madison because she's watching this live.
Cuzzo, love you.
If she's not with the 2 kids, because you're coming to the birthday party, you and you, that's it.
Another Taurus, my brother.
I don't give a shit. You guys are all coming to the birthday
It's all
party
good.
next Saturday. You're coming too. We're gonna have a whole fucking event. We'll do a showcase.
Right.
Are you coming too? Listen, it's
It's a
11:23. I know black folks are like, this is completely on program, but the white folks are like, yeah, talking that shit. What am I not? What did I miss? What am I not? Because we talked about a lot of personal stuff and a lot of bullshit. I don't want. You've been looking at the score. I know you motherfuckers want.
The score.
Scores over.
No, he's
Tell him how
still
to get-
looking.
Shit been
It's
over.
like how you know your stock did well, and you're like this.
No, I got a flight book, so I got to make sure to book. That's it.
Where are you going? COVID ain't going nowhere.
Atlanta.
Atlanta
He's
ain't
going
going
to
nowhere,
COVID.
and especially
They
since
paid for my flight.
there's
What you
no
talking about?
TSA.
And I'm getting paid to be out there. Other than that, I don't need to go
I
anywhere.
just took my son to the airport, going back home.
See?
Going back home to Atlanta.
I didn't see there's any problems. I'm just saying there's no TSA requirement. There's no dog smoking, you know, sniffing your cock.
You
There's
never,
nothing
well,
going
you know,
on.
they be sending them motherfuckers for me.
Huh?
Yeah, I don't know, they be thinking I have all these drugs and then they gotta get the female agent, she be like this. She's like, you know, we don't normally
You
do
enjoy
this.
You enjoy it. You've gotten felt up by TSA agents, haven't you? No? So I forgot my ID. That's what I'm saying to you.
So you had a TSA agent grab your pussy
All
or
right,
something?
yes, I did, and it was kind of
Did you enjoy
uncomfortable. No, I really didn't, because I really wasn't, if it was a guy, maybe, but like it's a female, and she was like if it was a dude, maybe I'd be like, all right, fine, but like, I felt violated with the girl's like this, and then she looks like a dude, she's like, all right, let's just make this easy, I guess, I'm saying so, and then like everybody, they don't put you like behind, they put you like, you're like in a corner, but like you're still exposed.
Some
and, like,
partition shit.
you know what I mean? And like people are looking at you, and then you're on the plane with the same people, and they're like, "Oh, you're the person getting like, you know, your ass felt up." Like, and then I had a clip, like a half a joint, like tucked. I forgot about it, but I lost my ID. I was in New Orleans. This is another All-Star weekend. I lost my fucking ID. So the girl goes, she goes, "Oh, I don't know how you." So I got my paper ID, but I had no picture ID. So I was like, I said, you can actually just Google me and I'll come up. So she Googled me, got me up. I'm behind Joe Button. And what's the one that came on stage? Little Mama.
Yeah.
The fact that you got that. Little Mama. So I'm behind these two. I'm completely embarrassed. I get pulled off aside and I get molested. I don't know. It was a violation. And they tell you that. They tell you that you're gonna come through. They're gonna go through all your bags. And I had a clip tucked away, so I'm sweating balls. The dog is looking at me. I'm like, I'm not going home. I'm not going home. And she goes, and she's a dyke. She's a big girl. She's a big girl. It's intimidating. I would have rather been molested by a dude. She's like this in your, cause you know in the jail they feel like your bra thing and like this. I'm like I got nothing. I got nothing. Oh, so it's hard. I don't know. And this is me as a white female. I was in Boston with your family, with the Hughes family. We came back from Jamaica. No, this is crazy. We came back and it was like 25 of us. Tamara organized everything, the sandwich, whatever. We come back from I don't know what Jamaica. I don't know what Disney, whatever. We come back. They had 18 bottles of white Hennessy. They were selling it when they got back to New York. It was a whole stockpile. They had like 18 bottles.
Not my family, that wasn't us.
Don't do it. So we get through customs and we're going through Boston. Boston was a layover. We're coming to New York from Jamaica. So we get through the thing and I'm walking with my daughter's all fucking black and Spanish. We're walking through, my mother's back, my mother's gossiping. So I get through, I walk through, she does all the time. So I'm through a security check. And this happened with R. Kelly in the garden. That's a whole story for a whole different day. Anyway, so we're through security, and my black girl's like, with the flag. And then I hear, yo, Jay! So I started, I'm like, yo, what the fuck? I'm like, I hate black people causing a scene. That's they're stopping them. They won't let them come through with their liquor bottles. I came through with 4 bottles of white Hennessy. So I was like, come through. I was like, what y'all say? Come. I said, let's go. And it's this short white lady, and she's stopping them. So I was like, they were. She goes, so then you need to come with them. I said,
I'm not with them.
They instead of them coming with me, now I was coming with them.
How about that?
That's it. And they want us to know what liquor we had, and when we got back, my bottles were fine, which the white half was part of what happened there, okay? 6 out of 12 bottles were broken. They broke all their Hennessy bottles. You can ask them. You can ask them this. And they lost luggage. There was a couple of things that happened that, this is coming from Baltimore. I'm sorry, Boston.
Boston.
You don't want no parts of Boston.
I'm aware.
That's it. So it's just crazy. I look, whatever. We can get to another, more positive topic.
Right on.
It's fine, it's fine.
That's
You don't notice
an
nothing. You ain't
example
gonna
of a
look.
good time.
Look at my face. Like, you know, when a mother notices like her kid dropped formula and they just wipe it up with their sock and they still wearing that shit. I don't care. Like, this is fine. This is all the way fine. It's fine. Thank you very much for coming out. I know this is a very big, especially for you, Chucky, coming out in a day with in Hynaken. This will never be forgotten. I owe him like a kidney. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna call him like this. A+, right, bitch? A positive, right? ABO, you know, blood type and shit. And you're gonna have to give him a kidney because this is big. So for you guys, for everyone to be here during the 6th out of the 7th game, which the 7th game doesn't exist at this point, I don't wanna hear
Not
this
at
shit.
all.
Yeah, I don't wanna hear it.
So you'll hear from me tomorrow. I told everybody on Facebook, Instagram.
That's cool. I'll take it
Enjoy
tomorrow
the
versus today. I'll take it to, anything else that I missed, and we can, any shout outs, anything else that I missed?
Just our handles.
Yes, please.
That's it.
The
like I
Legion?
said, Chucky.Smash on Instagram, Chucky Smash on Facebook. Only thing I'm pumping real hard right now is the Taking the Pelham 123, my solo, finally, produced by Molecules, The City of God, my man Dice's next solo project, and obviously eventually another Legion full album.
We're waiting for that.
Ready for
I'm
that?
exhausted, so figure your shit out.
Figure it out.
Underscore Legion underscore. Please go follow us on Facebook. Go follow Ramel,
Oh my God.
Chucky Smash. You get at Q's on the Legion page. Get at me on Instagram, and that's the Legion page on Instagram. Diceman456. On Facebook's my government, Sean Jennings.
Yeah.
Go look me up.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, just do the science. Go, you know. Thank you
But
for
all
having
jokes
us.
aside, thanks for having us.
For real.
Go backtrack Legion stuff.
Yeah, start
Bronx
from the beginning.
Tale.
Theme plus echo
Theme.
equals grill.
Go
What if
backtrack.
I got somebody to do a reel for you guys?
Take it.
There you go.
Alright, good.
Yeah,
Alright,
let's
Mom,
get that.
what can we start
Yeah,
with?
nice
And
and
I'm the wacky motherfucker who will just take care of things and have somebody else pay me on the back end.
That's
And then we'll talk later on.
Can I mention something from the background?
For you,
About
absolutely.
the group real fast?
Absolutely, absolutely.
It was prior to what you
Who
was
but
talking
me? And
about
also make sure
earlier.
you talk about your brand.
That's why,
Yeah,
now
yeah.
the brand is on pause, this is
No,
about
no,
the,
Rollo,
this is
come
about
Rollo,
the real
please.
fast,
Yes.
when you mentioned earlier about what the artists do and how they promote their music. Legion, we quarter on real fast. We don't really do our music for the masses. We do our music for our demographic, we got our core fan base. And once we learn that, you know, when you sign to majors, you gotta make records for the world or whatever to get on the radio. We don't work like that. We haven't been working like that in years. We do our music, our singles, whatever. We do it for our fans. We got our core base, and that's what we work for. You know, we solid to our sound. We haven't switched up, and we're gonna keep it like that. We thorough BX representatives from back then to today. Do your homework.
Please.
We Googleable.
I see it Yankee hat, and we're gonna just do this, and then we gotta go,
Yankees.
because like, I'm
Yeah.
already, Hynaken wants a shadow box, like, people want a shadow box. Who but me? Where did we get this from?
Who But Me, that's my little brand I got. You can find me on
It's a big brand.
Relax and Strive.
As well as anything Legion, anything
Anything
Legion, right
pertaining to
here.
Legion,
Anything
hats,
Legion,
all that,
it's
Right,
everything
right
is
now, due
wrong.
to everything that's been going on with it, it's been a little hectic, you know, but if you see any Legion
Is
merch.
this mine?
Oh, you know, when you,
How
I
much
got
is
you,
this?
I
How
got
much
you,
is this?
I got you,
What do I owe you?
I got you.
All
I
this
got you.
forehead, I gotta bid mine. I'm serious, is
I
this your
got you,
hat?
I didn't
How
drive,
much is it? How
I
much is
drive around with merch
I
in
have
my
cash
truck, but I
out.
don't
No,
have
no,
it.
how much is it?
I didn't-
I see you next week, what's the matter?
I don't talk prices online. I don't talk.
This hat is $40.
I don't talk
There
prices
you
online.
go. The hat is $40. It minimizes foreheads. And look at this, I could do a blossom with it, you know what? The deal is just, this is sexy, I like this actually.
No,
Alright, so
whatever I got,
you send me
got.
the bill. I'm not
Whatever I
looking for
got,
shit
you
for
got.
free.
No, whatever I got, you got. This is how it works.
Yeah,
Let's do
this-
that.
This is how it works.
Black folks, we have to spend money to make money, and this hat is $40. Am I
Yeah, you
gonna
gotta spend
cost?
money to make money, and then on
Look
the
at
back
this, money
end,
make-
all money ain't
am I-
good. You
am I
know, I
You
don't.
said it right.
I just be
That's-
happy
take
if
money to
somebody
make
wears
money.
my product.
I am taking this hat, but
She
you
just
have
took
to,
my hat.
I'm
Yeah.
taking, is this your hat?
Yeah.
It's over. You wanna switch hats? Oh no, I can't, this is a one of a kind.
No.
Sean Prez gave me this shit. Sean gave me this shit, but I got hats for you. Are you okay with this? I don't need to be punched in the head by like your girlfriend.
Nah,
Four
I got
events down the road.
You're not taking my hat.
you. I got you. I got you.
No,
You do the hat.
you got
No,
the
no,
hat.
no, no, no,
word is
I'm
my
not gonna
bond.
do that.
You
It's okay, no, no, I don't
word
need to
is
be
my
punched in the
bond.
face.
You
It's
can-
fine.
you
Can
can
I
get
have
the
it?
hat.
Can I have it? Can
Robert-
I have it?
Robert
That's
gonna get
okay?
it, yeah.
I love it. I love this.
I'll
It's
Listen,
okay.
if you
I
can't
love
get any Legion merch from Rollo, you could come to Diceman.
But he's not coming to the party. What the fuck?
This is
Next Saturday, we're gonna barbecue. Bring
Listen.
your asses. That's bullshit.
Look,
I'm a
Miss
upstate
Kathy
guy.
gonna be there.
I'm an upstate guy.
There you go.
But you know what? We're not doing this. This is family
But,
time. All right, kids.
yeah.
Listen, you see the faces? I can't do this.
That's right. We Googleable. Check us out.
yeah, this
Legion.
go backtrack.
Yeah, I wanna
Molecules.
say thank Jenna, thank you for having us. I wanna thank everybody for supporting your.
Shout out to Spliff Star.
Let's be
Spliff.
Shout out to Hynaken for coming out.
Hynaken was here.
Hynaken.
He was
This
here.
time-
Shout out to Hynaken.
Gio,
Hynaken is here.
everybody.
The man behind us.
Yes.
On the boards.
Yeah, all of y'all, man.
Gio, we go back with Gio. We got history with him, so.
I'm tired of Gio. Everybody knows. Oh, no, that's Gio. He
Yo,
films
yo,
movies.
Oh, nah, I
Gio
fuck the
was in the
movies. I know him
studio.
before the
Gio was in
movies.
Gio was in the studio with me and Showbiz was recording Bronx Tale.
Wow.
Yes, I was there.
Well, he sponsors the whole fucking event. I'm broke, so I have no energy for this shit. And you know, between him and Bobby Cakes, there's a couple of people. So I don't know. Shout out to Bobby Cakes. Bobby Cakes came in with like $500 worth of cupcakes and cookies. I'm not kidding you.
Smacked off of that.
He was supposed to bring in a couple of things, and it was
He
just so
came in.
much shit.
That's
He's
dope.
my
Nigga
sponsor for like the next 2
smacked.
months. I said I'm still fucking cooked. So Bobby Cakes, if I'm getting married, I'm doing a hot and eat cake. You're all fucked up.
Wait, who's Bobby Cakes?
Mr. Bobby Cakes
Then talk
is
about
a
it.
gentleman who makes hot and
Oh,
There you go.
okay.
edibles.
Okay.
Mr.
And
Bobby
he was here
Cakes.
like a couple of weeks ago, and when he came, it's like when you guys come in, and I got my hat. Look at
That
this, I got my hat.
nigga's
Woo!
lit.
I got you.
And I'm not trying to play
That
anybody
nigga's
here.
lit.
So my hat, let's say cost was $50. I'm playing it high. I know I've done retail. Let's say it's $50. This motherfucker walked in with $500 worth of shit: cupcakes, cookies, anagrams. Match my life.
Lit.
So he's my
Shit's
sponsor
good.
for the next 2 years.
That's
Like,
dope.
what do you do? You don't do that. You don't walk in, and I'm looking at him going,
Man
thank
was
you so much.
like, yeah,
for
weed time.
Don't cut me. I'm taking the hat. Now that I think about it, the more I think about Bobby
You
Cakes, I'm
see,
taking
you
the hat.
see, you good. Come on.
All right, guys, you gave me your handles. Everybody, I have to say, the energy was great. I love you as a conglomerate because you not have to be here together as a team. Thank you very much for taking the time, especially during game 6.
Thank you for having us.
I hope the food was okay.
It's-
It was
it's-
okay?
Food was
I
delicious.
didn't eat, but
Yeah.
I have
They
it.
ate the food. They
And
can
let
buy
me
it
say
if they
this,
want to.
I'm gonna say this. When you do the Google research, outside of groups like the Treacherous 3, Furious 5 and all that, I challenge anyone, find a Bronx group. The 3 of us. Bronx, we were talking about boroughs.
Hold on a second.
Go ahead,
I'll make that happen tomorrow.
search it.
All right, cool. No, not
Search
search it. No, you ready?
We are ready because I'm
It's
telling
3
you
on
right.
3?
There's no 3 on 3. We're not looking to battle anybody. I'm staking a claim right now. It's taking a Pelham that's coming out right now. It's fire. It's boom bap. It is the origin of what this hip hop is all about. You know what? Call Primo. You want to hit Primo up? You want to ask him? You want to check out credentials? Go hit him.
I don't have to check your credentials, but I think that with everything that's going on with the versus competitions, and you have one
Mhm.
entity against the other, when you call somebody, and I'm just speaking out loud,
Go
I'm
ahead.
not speaking, when you have people who call out or look to, entice, there's business behind that.
Yeah.
So I would, to be quite frank, really think about who you can engage with, because there is something for that. Whereas I'm younger and I'm learning more and more about you, even every time that we do an interview. There's so many people who are well versed with who you are, what you did, who your competition was. So if it's like that in a virtual realm where you do have control and you can monetize or,
right.
future stream, okay? It doesn't have to be for, it
Right.
helps, but it could be anybody. So when you say that,
Mm-hmm.
you have to be prepared for those who are now ready to engage. That's what I'm saying to you. So,
No, and it's
Well-
good. Well, the body of work stands for itself.
Again,
Go ahead,
let
continue.
me, now, go ahead, finish, I'm sorry.
sorry, don't get me.
Like you said,
I can add on, that's what
I'm
I'm
talking about a group. I'm really not looking to battle nobody. That's just, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
It's what it is.
It's like this. Search us, like we've been saying. Go from our first album. We've been out, we've had a crazy gap. The most consistent group probably ever. However, you go from our first album, go from Niggas is Shiesty with Showbiz and Q's, go from Lost Tapes, go from Bronx Tale, go from The Power Now,
Be the Bronx way.
three the Bronx Way,
Continue.
right? Now we got the Taking the Pelham. Now we got City of God coming out. Now we got another Legion. But what we got right now accessible that you could go look up from Legion, Bronx Tale, 3 the Bronx Way, The Power Now, Lost Tapes. It ain't nothing
I'm
like
talking about substance.
yeah.
I see you guys got
This
something
is the
here.
problem.
This is something here.
It's raw.
You got something in here called the Vandal Hour. Like we represent the true elements of hip hop. So we're gonna close on that. So as we continue, even though 2020 was a whack year for a lot of people, it was the catapult for us to embark to continuation to do music and hip hop that is timeless. There's no age of our music. I am one of the key writers. He is the middleman of the group. He is the primary producer. Collectively, we are the Legion, and we will continue. It is futuristic from now forever. Period.
And then
I
I'm
love
gonna,
that.
I'm gonna do a solo album. It's gonna be called Molecules. Title. The name of the album is gonna be Guns, Drugs, and the Bitches.
Is it gonna be like a P-Rock? Is it gonna be like a P-Rock thing where it's
Let's
just
go.
instrumental?
Jenna, I'm messing with you.
He's gonna do it. He actually got a Molecules Present album coming out, but
So we got champagne and chicken and champagne, and y'all had, I wrote it down, it's somewhere in my paper, I'm gonna come back with it. Y'all had your own little promotional situation too. I happen to like you guys a lot, and it's not just I know you. In fact, that you guys went to public school, let me just tell you something.
That's them, not me.
Oh, shit, you shitting
Because
on us?
most people from public school have a different dynamic than Catholic school. And that's just what it is.
We tend to be Snip Snooty.
I would never know the difference, and that's a
I
big
used to go to
compliment to
Chuck's
you.
school to pick him up. I come up there, got the big chain.
That means you was
and
on
all that.
time.
Yeah.
I was coming.
But let me tell you something.
Pick him up like, yo, take
When
this
we got to
uniform off.
125th Street and big up to the Decepticons and all the crazy Brooklyn and Queens people, 125th Street was like the melting pot. Catholic and public school all came together, just like the Warriors. this crew getting along with this crew, and it was like all gravy, baby.
You had no choices, if you wasn't sharing situations, it wasn't working. Am I, Hynaken? All right, let me go ahead, because we've been here all night.
Yes.
Matt is staring at me crazy.
Choose like
Paperrocklive, courtesy of S Street Media, Geo Vision, Mr. Bobby Cakes, who pays the
Geo.
bills. He pays the bills, I'm not paying for this shit, let me
That's
just
all
tell you something. Hynaken, I drink Heinekens all night because of Heineken, I think it's,
Greenies are now in effect.
I think it's hysterical. I'm here with the Legion, and Matt, shout out to Matt, who, I never know if he's cursing me out or giving me the green light, I never know.
Matt is the man. He greeted us as soon as we walked in. And he said, "Yo, I rock with y'all."
Yeah.
And I like people that into what we doing and knowing what we about.
What's
I
crazy
appreciate
is he
that.
doesn't know who the guests are, it's like the day up. So he goes, how the fuck did you get the Legion? I said,
I said, how you know though? I said, how the fuck you know?
so thank you very much for coming out.
Thank
And
you.
this is family, it's a privilege to know who the fuck you are now. Because God knows, I had no idea.
Yeah, we didn't even get
And
it.
you was there from the
Jenna
beginning.
was at the parties with us.
Yeah.
Like we used to throw parties. People didn't know Jenna was there with us.
Yeah,
Like
she
she
was
said,
there
had to
for
work in the door and all that.
Yeah.
We have a whole lot of stories that we've been able to give y'all, but maybe next time.
Thank you very
But
much.
for now, thank you for having us.
Spliff Star.
Spliff is our people.
He's mad, he's mad.
Spliff is our people.
Well, we have some things cooking. You guys are working on current situations, right? We'll keep it under wraps. He has a couple of things that I'm working on with
We
Spliff.
coming back, right? I'm putting you on the spot.
Oh,
Me, him,
with nobody.
Is that a question?
My show is the Vandal Hour.
Never a question.
I
like
need y'all
that.
on my show.
I am a vandal.
A hit show.
I'm a
It's hit
vandal.
show. I would love to interview y'all.
Let's
I'll
do
make
it.
this
We
up.
did. We
He
did.
does so much, and sometimes it doesn't come through all the way because you're in charge of so much, but so little, in essence, is what you are responsible for. And that's what it comes down to. So sometimes, again, with the dress conversation, there's always a sacrifice. So with him, he has a certain level of conversation like us. I don't care where you're from. We know where you're from. We know what you've done. It's a random conversation, which is what I think makes things work. Stop looking at the post game. No one gives a fuck. Thank you, Hynaken, for coming out. Shout out to LeBron James, who won his 18,000 championship, 2 of which he ain't earned. And I'm sorry my Yankees lost, and that's it. Thank you very much to the Legion.
Thank
Shout out
you
to
all.
Math and S Street Media, Urban Variety, Mr. Bobby Cakes, and Mr. Hynaken. I couldn't be here without y'all, and I'll see y'all in 2 weeks. Yeah.
Let's go.
I feel like a race.